Hi everyone, and welcome to Trending Today, where we bring you the inspiring stories of innovators who are setting the trends and changing the game in every industry imaginable. I'm your host, Jana Angel. From popcorn to produce, froyo to fruitarians, today we're talking culinary trends that will take us from New England to San Diego and tempt your taste buds the whole way. Odds are, if you've ever enjoyed movie theater popcorn, you have the Cretors family to thank, a fifth-generation family-owned business that's been popping up at concerts, movies, and sporting events for over 135 years. I guess you could say they show up anywhere that food meets fun.
Cretors and Company was started by my great-great-grandfather back in 1885 when he invented the first popcorn machine. Since then, the business has been passed down through the generations, and we're now, with my brother and sister and I, on our fifth generation. We invented the popcorn machine, but that we've continued to move on from there into other things. The next thing would be that we're on our fifth generation. There's not a lot of businesses that have kept the business in the family for that long, and it's an important part of not only my family, but a lot of the families for the people who work here. And then the last thing is the innovation. Even though we are an old company with a long history, we're not stuck in our old ways. We continue to try and find new solutions to current day problems, and we continue to do that.
You know when you're buying a machine or any piece of equipment with Cretors, you're getting the best. There's no question that the amount of time and engineering and thought process that's gone in it is there. I think there's dependability. Cretors stands behind their equipment. Cretors stands behind getting it right. They stand behind making sure that you have a solution with them. And I think after that, it's partnership. Cretors is in the business not just for themselves, but for you, and they want the whole industry to grow.
So it was 1991. I was in my late 20s, and the headhunter called and said, "Oh my gosh, I have the perfect job for you. It's the travel industry. They're known as the Cadillac of the industry. It's all about quality." And I said, "Really? What's the product?" And she goes, "Popcorn machines." I'm like, "What? Like, how many can you sell?" Well, I'll tell you, 30 years later, it's a lot. So when you walk in the door, I think you feel it at Cretors. Most people come in and they get that real nostalgic kumbaya feeling. And then as they continue on through, they see that there's a lot of ingenuity that goes behind it. So we're all about the quality, the integrity, and the ingenuity. And it goes through the entire company.
Yeah, one of the things I learned quickly here was the history. Not just the history of the company, but the history of all the employees that have worked here over the years. And you still see a lot of familiar faces that have been here anywhere from 10 years to 20, 30, even 40 years. Again, I just started my 23rd year, so I embrace that, and I look forward to being part of the history as we continue to evolve here.
I mean, that's what draws people in. When I talk to them, I bring them here, talk to them about the union and their benefits and what it's about working for a family. They treat you like family. I think that's the most important part, because you're only as good as the employees that work for you. So treating them like family, they respect you for that. And since I was out in the shop for so many years, my first 22 years were in the shop, I knew what it was like to be one of the guys, but I also know now what it's like to be the plant manager and to earn their respect.
There is a fit for Cretors, there is certain people who work well here, and turns out I fit in with the family, and here I am 11 years later, so if you're easy to get along with and you enjoy coming to work and doing your job and going home and being happy with that, then you'll fit in fine here. It's a good place to work.
So we say what we mean and we do what we say, and that's kind of the bottom line. So we do our work with integrity, and quality is of the utmost importance in innovation. The Cretors family will tell you it's their name on the machine. It has to work every time out of the box.
Each of us work in the business on a day-to-day basis, and I think it's easy to get, when you step out and you see what a part of these amazing experiences are that people are having, you know, going out to carnivals and going to cinemas. And popcorn is a big part of that. Like I said, it's just really very humbling to be a part of that, and that closely tied to their happiness. And if it weren't for the people that were here that don't carry the Cretors name, you know, it wouldn't be the same. It wouldn't be nearly what it is today.
And that's how Cretors, a fifth-generation family-owned business, blends time-honored tradition and impressive innovation. And it's delicious, too. Join us for more tasty treats right here on Trending Today. There's a common misconception that people need meat to get the right amount of protein. The incredible athletes and champion bodybuilders from Vegan Strong are putting that myth to rest.
What we wanted to do was go out and show the mainstream public, particularly those interested in fitness, that plants have all the protein you need, that you can achieve your health and fitness goals with a plant-based diet. And as someone who's been doing it for 25 years and have put on 100 pounds myself, I'm just one example of that. And so I surrounded myself with some of my best friends in the world, Danny and Giacomo, as well as other friends and colleagues who represent and wear it on their sleeves that you can achieve your goals on a plant-based diet and that plants, in fact, have all the protein you need. So there's a major protein myth out there. There's this idea that protein is this magical thing and the more of it we eat, the better. And we just need to get as much of it as possible. And that's not necessarily true, even in athletics. That once we, meet our protein requirements, the rest just basically gets stored or gets excreted and it doesn't get used. So what we want to do is be efficient with our protein. What we want our protein to have is vitamins and minerals that come with it. Fiber, we don't want the cholesterol that comes in the animal-based form. We want the best return on investment that we can get nutritionally, and that happens to come from plants. And the reason why that is that plants contain 64 times more antioxidants than animal-based foods. Only plants contain fiber, which 97% of Americans don't consume enough of. There's no fiber in animal-based foods. Dietary cholesterol is only found in animal-based foods, and that is the Achilles heel of Americans and Americans' health. And of course, you get the vitamins, amino acids, phytonutrients, and importantly, water too, that are present in plant-based foods, which supply all the protein that we need.
So I grew up here in Haverhill. We did not have a lot of money, and unhealthy food is very cheap. And when you're living like paycheck to paycheck, week to week, you put the food you can put on the table. And unfortunately, that was pretty unhealthy. And because of that, or I believe because of that now, almost everybody in my family was very overweight. Many people were obese, but I just thought that was my family. That's how everybody was in my family, is just the way it was gonna be. And I was actually pretty okay with that. And then I went vegetarian when I was 8 years old, but still consumed quite a bit of dairy and quite a bit of eggs. And as I grew older, I started to follow the exact same path of the rest of my family, where I was becoming overweight, and by the time I was 16, I was 210 pounds. And when I was doing a research paper in high school about vegetarianism, I stumbled across some information about veganism and a plant-based diet, which I had never heard of. This was almost 20 years ago. And I decided to go vegan overnight. I didn't know anything about nutrition, didn't care about exercise or my physique whatsoever. I just was doing it for ethical reasons, and weight started to come off me. The next time I went to the doctor, they said, hey, you're down 30 pounds. And I thought, interesting. I wasn't even doing anything. I just eliminated dairy and eggs. I wasn't including anything particularly healthy at that point, but it got my wheels spinning that I could learn something about nutrition and maybe do even more.
My biggest hesitation with going vegan was that I was going to lose my ability to perform and recover as an athlete. However, I wanted to be healthy, and that's why I made the switch, despite those fears. In reality, after I made the switch, not only was I able to continue to train and get stronger, my performance and recovery improved tenfold. And now, as I continue to get older, I realize that it's a marathon and not a sprint, and I'm continuing to become the healthiest version of myself.
For me, it all started when I was in the military, because I did the military for about 8 years. 4 years fully active in the United States Marine Corps, then another 4 years in the United States Navy Reserves. And this mostly started when I was in the reserves period, and I was going to school at the same time. I saw Gary Yourofsky, which is a vegan activist, came into my classroom, did a quick speech about veganism, and that pretty much transitioned me to this lifestyle, because when he talked about like the animal ethics, the health, the medical, the environmental reasons, it just enticed my mind, because I served in war. I served in war. I've seen a lot of innocent people that suffered through that, and that kind of correlated with me when it came to animal suffering as well. So that's why I transitioned more. The misconception is like, where's the protein? Like broccoli, lettuce, kale, this stuff doesn't have protein. And what I do is enlighten people and show them that, no, it's not just salad. Like you can get tofu, seitan, beans, lentils, a whole bunch of stuff that has tons of protein that can put on a lot of lean muscle mass.
We are not just limited to what we think is like our genetic ceiling. With our lifestyle choices, we can do so much more than that.
Every chef knows there's no substitute for fresh fruits and veggies when creating that perfect recipe. So we traveled to SoCal to dine with the fine folks at Anya Produce, where the mission is simple: to get fresh produce from the farm to your family's table.
Anya Produce is a young produce company, a vibrant young produce company founded by Miss Natalia Marionnet. We specialize in marketing avocados, and Avocado Queen is our label.
My name is Natalia. I'm the CEO of Anya Produce. My story about how I become the Avocado Queen. I start from zero. No people around me, no employees. So I buy this whole load of avocados by myself and a car actually delivering these little boxes of avocados. After that, I starting to make a reputation. When I start this company, they starting to call me Reina del Aguacate, which means Avocado Queen. And I thought, why not? I am the Avocado Queen. I love avocados because it's a superfood, actually. Has a lot of omegas, a lot of nutritious for people. And I truly want to contribute something for this world to eat healthier. And that's why I really have this little precious gold that I want to share with you guys.
This path to produce royalty didn't happen overnight. It started with one simple pushcart, a dream, and years of determination to bring the highest quality and freshest produce to families around the country.
Definitely has to do with the leadership of Natalia. This all started for her as a dream. She put action into her dream. I still remember stories about the early days of the company. Natalia getting a phone call from a customer, and without hesitation, after hours on a Saturday, customer needs a product in a pinch, and she doesn't hesitate, and she actually goes and gets on a truck and makes a delivery. That was just absolutely amazing. And that's where we feed off for our energy as a company.
Even as Anya grows into a produce powerhouse, Natalia has never forgotten that truly successful business is about people.
I met with her first at a conference at the PMA down Anaheim. What intrigued me with her was her brand name, Queen Avocados, so that got me into it. And then her service and education had kept me with it. I think we've grown a good partnership with her, and feel like we just continue to grow every year with her.
Our company values are to put people first. We know that we're not the biggest produce company in the world, but we are big enough to get the job done, and we feel that we're still small enough to care about our customers, and we really believe that.
Working with the team with Anya Produce is just amazing. It gives me more confident and more dependable that we are able to take care of our customers with the service and quality they provide.
With a growing list of satisfied loyal customers, the Avocado Queen knows that the quality of her produce must be second to none.
Every month I travel to Michoacan to make sure they're doing a good job picking the best avocados for my customers. I speak with the farmers all the time. I have a very good communication with them to make sure we have the best quality to import this to United States. Then we bring it to our warehouse and our facilities in United States. Then we make another quality control. We check the oil, we check temperature, everything to make sure that product is going to be the best one to package, and people in their homes can have these delicious avocados from Mexico.
Very proud of working with Anya Produce because I know how she started with a push cart, and now she's delivering truckloads to us. And actually somebody like her and the male-dominant industry coming over and taking over, it's amazing.
It just reminds me that the American dream is alive. We continue to feed off of her dream, and that's what's driving our success.
How can I become success? First of all, you need to believe in you. I think that's the main thing. Be perseverant all the time. If you believe in something and you want that and you have that passion, people are going to love whatever you want to do. They truly believe in me because they see me every day, how I work, how tough I had to be, and all these people next to me and around me, they share that belief with me that we are a team and we're growing and we compete with the biggest companies. This is unbelievable what we already did, and this is just the beginning.
One of the biggest buzzwords right now in health and wellness and the food industry is gut health, also known as the microbiome. Well, trending today traveled to Mixmi Frozen production facility to tell you the story of this breakthrough healthy snack. We're going to show you just a little bit about the secret sauce that makes it healthy and absolutely delicious.
So I'm Kristen Harlander. I'm one of the co-founders of Mixmi Brands. So Chris and I met at the University of Minnesota Food Science Department. I was working in his mom's lab. He was also working in his mom's lab. When I first saw him, was weighing something out on a scale, and he had these big muscles. And so we were working side by side, and it was, for me, love at first sight. I knew that I wanted to be with him for the rest of my life.
My wife is the engine of Mixmi. It's her desire, her love for kids, really, that started everything off.
My husband and I, we've come from a family of food scientists. My father is a flavor chemist. Chris's mom is also a food scientist. And then both of our parents married food scientists. So we're just a whole family of food scientists.
As far as when we started Mixmi, we just wanted to do a proof of concept. And so we bought just a frozen yogurt soft serve machine, and we started messing around with it.
And when our kids were younger, we saw the options they had in school, and we thought, oh my goodness, we got to get healthier options.
She kept thinking every student should have one of these on their tray.
And so we created Mixmi for schools, and then because the kids were bringing home the foil lids from schools, they would tear off the cup, they'd bring it home, they'd say, Mom, this is so great, can we have it at home?
When we start getting calls from parents, first of all, you're like, uh-oh, but it was always good news. It was always like, where can we find you?
The parent would research it, they'd go to their website, they'd see we're clean label, nutritional extra benefits, and then they would ask us, where can we buy Mixmi?
Within a year, we had a 20-hour shift where this poor machine we're pulling 20 hours straight, so everyone's getting sore. We're like, we either need to make some sort of investment or get a new shoulder replacement.
So we launched just in Minnesota, and then we grew from there into like over 22 states. And then from there, we grew into retail.
I'm Axel Harlander, one of the co-founders of the company. I was 14 when it started. It's an honor to work with your family. I always want to honor my parents, honor my grandparents. I want to work hard. As I was growing up, and Mixmi was growing up right there with me. And also just your friends knowing that you have ice cream at all times kind of brings a lot of them over to your house.
We want food that tastes good. So when we created Mixmi, we wanted that indulgence. We wanted to be healthier.
We got to invest also in our formula, because Chris was just chomping at the bit to make it better, and we knew we could.
Our ingredients are of utmost importance. A couple of years ago, we wanted to increase our live and active cultures, our probiotics, so we researched prebiotic fibers.
When the role Christian Hansen plays together with our partners like Mixmi Frozen Yogurt, is to unleash the power of good bacteria in the aim to improve food and health. Mixmi Frozen Yogurt is formulated together with the prebiotic fiber and the BB12 probiotic, which is the most documented bifidobacterium. It really sets Mixmi Frozen Yogurt apart from the competition and from other type of desserts.
We must have done hundreds of tests in one summers where we would take out this ingredient, put in this ingredient, try this fiber, take out this fiber. We used to have corn syrup. We took that out. We used to have carrageenan. We took that out. We even one time saw how low in sugar could we go where it would still taste good because we wanted to have the least amount of sugar possible.
Mixmi Frozen Yogurt is dedicated to bring science to the consumers, and as such we've been partnering together and leveraged this platform called the probioticinstitute.com in order to educate consumers on the goodness about probiotics.
The ice cream aisle, we think, is the funnest aisle in the store. When you walk up and down it, it's 90% the same thing. It's cheap ice cream, heavily stabilized, heavy sugar, heavy fat. And we're very proud that Mixmi solves that problem, fills that niche. Prebiotic fiber and probiotics.
I'm Sharon Gertis. I'm a certified food scientist and a nutritionist. I'm also the health and wellness editor for Dairy Foods magazine. I work with major food companies around the globe to find what we call the sweet spot in product innovation. We have 4 criteria for a product being a success in the market: good nutrition, great textural and sensory properties, makes claims that are supported by science, and fills a need or trend in the market. Mixmi is very unique because I don't see any other products in the market that are frozen yogurt with probiotics. So this is new, this is innovation, this is exciting.
Well, Mixmi really prides itself on the innovation and the market disruption. 2 things that are really innovative about Mixmi is that it's slowly cultured. There's billions of probiotics in each cup, and we also put it through a fast freeze process with a liquid nitrogen tunnel. So that creates really small ice crystals in the product, which gives it a creamier texture on your tongue and also preserves the flavor. So it really makes a pure product that consumers will enjoy.
What I like about Mixmi is we made it in portion control. You get 4 fluid ounces, and that's 90 calories. So in that one little cup, I know I'm getting a satisfying snack. It tastes amazing. I'm also controlling my calories and getting the nutrients that I really want my body to have.
We have a broker network throughout the country. We're just enamored with our team. We have some right here in Tennessee and Kentucky, all the differences people have, but we all have the common goal of improving gut health 1 cup at a time.
Well, we do like to say healthy gut, happy you, and the reason for that, gut health is super vital for being a happy person, being alive and active, being all that you were created to be. Your gut health impacts your emotions, it impacts your mental capacity, and so when you think about the gut, that's the foundation.
It starts with your gut. It is the central point for starting to build your immunity.
Because scientific studies are documenting so many health benefits: blood glucose control, weight management, bone and cardiovascular health, and more.
I think like whenever you're doing anything, like if it's a food business or anything, there's those times that you're going along and you just look for those signs that say, yes, this is right, this is meant to be, you know, those little signs. And so we've had several of those along the way, that we know that we're doing the right thing.
If you've ever dreamed of seeing yourself sculpted in a cake, join me in Johnson City, Tennessee to catch up with Timmy Norman and the Cakebuds team.
Cakebuds started about 12 years ago. I was doing graphic design and wanted to make a cake for my son. He was turning 2 and I'd never baked before, never made a cake. And I wanted to do something really special for him. I wanted to be something like I seen on TV. And so I thought I'm artistic enough, I could probably do it. So I gave it a try. And from that point, friends and family just started saying, hey, could you make a cake for me? And then 2.5 years later, I was feeling the urge to move from the job that I had. And I was like, well, this baking thing's really seems to be paying off. So I'm gonna give that a try, and opened the bakery in 2011 and have been here almost 10 years now.
I came to join the Cakebuds team 2 years ago. My husband and family and I, we moved to Tennessee from Connecticut. And as soon as I found out we were going to be moving here with his job, I started researching online to see what bakeries were going to be in the area. And of course, Timmy's was the one that stood out the most to me. It had the most style that was currently like what I was doing. Plus, I could tell he would help me grow as far as being a creative artist.
I've been very fortunate. I've been on 4 Food Network shows now. Winter Cake All, Holiday Wars, Food Network Challenge, and Big Time Bake. Food Network Challenge, where we were first place, we won that one, and Big Time Bake, we won again. So we've really grown throughout the process of learning how to compete and how to interact with cameras and things like that. And so I think we've grown a lot in doing that.
It was an amazing experience to compete with Timmy. It was my first competition online for cakes. The cake itself was delicious. We made the habanero carrot cake, the fig and blue cheese cookie, and then the sweet potato rosemary cake. So the flavors were just amazing, spot on, and the experience was unbelievable.
We have a great team here. Everyone has their own strengths, and it's all about working together, especially on a large project. Our goal is to do like these really over-the-top cakes and all of that. And so a lot of people don't realize when they come onto our social media and they see these large, over-the-top, gravity-defying cakes that we have a storefront that's the smaller things. We do the cookies and the cake pops and cupcakes and smaller cakes as well. Like we do anything for any occasion.
Well, the sculpted cakes that we have around from the front to the back of the showcase are always amazing to see. But people are always amazed that we have macarons. We're the only bakery in the town that actually makes them in-house.
I really love sculpting people. Some of those that I love doing is I did a Bette Midler cake recently from Hocus Pocus. Buddy the Elf from the Elf movie. And right now I'm working on a Walking Dead themed one for the finale of Walking Dead. And so lots of people things. I just love creating those.
We actually have so much fun here at Cakebuds Bakery. We're really such a tight group here. We can have fun and joke around, but we can also work hard and get serious and get the projects done on time.
We know when we start that cake that the end goal is for it to be eaten. And so when we're done, that's what we're waiting on. Can't wait for the reaction to seeing it, and we can't wait to hear how much they enjoyed having it at their event and eating it. Something that we always like to tell our customers is when they come to us with a project and they want a special cake for a special occasion, a lot of times they're bringing memories with them and things that they want us to replicate for them. And so something that we always tell our customers is with Cakebuds, you can have your memory and you can eat it too.
Every time you make a cake, you want to make it to the quality and level that you would for your family. And we have Timmy and a great team here who can help you with the whole process from flavors to design to completing the final sculptures.
Training today. Hope that was hot enough for you.
Thanks for joining us for this episode of Trending Today. See you next time as we share more stories of entrepreneurs, thought leaders, and innovators from around the world. I'm Janet Angel. We'll see you next time.